They can never tell us who planted the pipe bombs on January 6th. They can never tell us who leaked the Dobbs opinion. And they can never tell us who put cocaine at the White House. But they sure had time for a lot of other things. October 2nd, 2021, they set up a snitch line to report moms and dads who have the nerve to show up at a school board meeting and advocate for their son or daughter. On September 23rd, 2022, 10 unmarked cars pull up to Mark Houck's home, arrest him in front of his wife and 7 children. And what did he do wrong? What did he do wrong? Praying in front of an abortion clinic. And when some crazy guy comes up and starts yelling obscenities in his kid's face, he makes sure he deals with that guy. He went to court. The jury found him not guilty. On November 18th, 2022, the chairman talked about this. Actually before that, summer of 2022, raid on President Trump's home. President Trump's attorney said, you can come. They were working with him. No, we got to do a raid. We had actually Mr. Stephen D'Antuono, head of the Washington field office, tell us how wrong that was, how they broke all kinds of protocol. 2 months later, Mr. Garland appoints Jack Smith as special prosecutor. And as the chairman pointed out in his opening statement, the lead prosecutor, Jay Bratt, used the promise of a judgeship to try to pressure one of the defendant's lawyers. You're not allowed to do that. We're going to talk to Mr. Bratt at some point in this committee. We'll have him in for a deposition. January 23rd, 2023, FBI Richmond field office issues a memorandum where it says, if you're a pro-life Catholic, you might be a domestic violent extremist. Can't tell us who put cocaine at the White House, but you can call Catholics extremists. Spring of 2023, 2 brave whistleblowers come forward and tell us about the sweetheart deal that David Weiss was trying to do for Hunter Biden. Of course, those guys' reward for coming forward as good, brave whistleblowers was to have their security clearances taken from them and be retaliated against. 6:01 a.m., March 19th, 2024, Brian Malinowski, Little Rock, Arkansas, highest paid official in the Little Rock government, runs the Bill and Hillary Clinton Airport. 6:01, all these folks show up in the morning. First thing they do is put tape on the doorbell cam, and they're coming after Mr. Malinowski, a warrant to search his home because they believed he had sold 6 guns that he wasn't supposed to sell. 6:01, tape on the doorbell cam. 53 seconds later, Brian Malinowski shot in the head, later dies. They could have handled that. So, the SWAT team and everything else, just talk to his lawyers. You could have, all kinds of ways you could have handled that to avoid the terrible outcome. We had Brian Malinowski's spouse here last Congress. His lawyer testified. Tragic story because of this Justice Department, the previous Justice Department, the way they handled things. And don't forget, December 12, 2024, when the Inspector General told us about the 26 confidential human sources who were there on January 6, 2021. 17 went in restricted space, which they were not authorized to do. 4 went in the Capitol, which they were not authorized to do. None of them were charged. 2 of the 4 who went in the Capitol were asked to be there by the FBI. We got all kinds of questions about that incident, about those confidential human sources, all kinds of questions we want answered. Now, thank goodness, and the chairman referenced this as well, thank goodness Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino are now going to be running the Justice Department, where we won't have this kind of ridiculous focus on agencies being turned on the very people they're supposed to serve.